fault of a group that have an agenda and are trying to push forward legislation, trying to push forward their new world order. And so as we take on all of the guilt of all of the destruction going on, they tell us, it's you. Oh, it's all your fault. They're telling all the children in school, you only have one world and you're destroying it by driving your car, by doing all the things that you would normally do. And so you need us. You need eugenics. You need all of this strife to carry you forth into a world for what? For what is what I ask. Because if we get out there and we live and we show our true our life force out to the world, then other people are going to pick up on that and they're going to start to share their vibration with others. And people like Charlie Veitch, my special guest, who has been putting out these wonderful videos, lovingly telling the police how much of a jerk they really are, and trying to show them that they are human as well, is a fantastic way to get this out. Because we have to take this to the level of humor. We have to take this to the level of love. And if you're only working from hate, aggression, guns, and storing food, then the rest of the world is doomed. So that's what I wanted to spread tonight, and that was the message I wanted to give to all of you. And here came along Charlie Veitch, my perfect love guest, to save the day, to tell us some topical stuff about the G20 and what's going down, and also to let us all know that you can quit your job and save the world. It's true, there are angels out there to carry you forth. And it's also true that none of the troubles that are going on are your fault. Do not take on that guilt. Use your own potential. Use your own abilities to share what you've got. Be the open source programming necessary to guide this to the next level where we can find a utopia, or we can find a place where all of us function together in any Fibonacci series as life has expanded, as it always does. We will do as well. So in the next break, we're going to take a couple of your phone calls. If you want to call in, 512-904-8014, or if you're international, 866-841-1065. The numbers are on oraclebroadcasting.com. And I personally think that we don't have to wake everyone up. That we only a certain amount of people need to be aware of what's going on, aware of the antics. And then once you're informed and you go through all your stages of grief, you're going to go through anger, denial, all of the stages that you would go through if you found out you were dying, until you finally come to acceptance. And there's only so many of us out there that can reach that point, really, without breaking first, especially if you just stay at this day in, day out, doing nothing but conspiracy theory. Then you're going to break. You're going to be angry. But if you can reach that level of acceptance and you have the information in your soul, but you still go out there and you spread love like Charlie does, then that just brings people to another level and they don't even need to be aware of the problem. What do you think, Charlie?
I think you're absolutely right. It's a big difference between action and reaction. To be negative and to feel powerless from reading and researching negative information all day is a reaction, almost the reaction they want you to have. But to go out there and spread love and try and uncover the human beings beneath the robot and try and wake people up in a loving way, I'm just a normal boy in London doing this, and now I'm in Toronto. But what I take great inspiration from is just knowing that, as we touched upon in the last hour, we are totally protected always, and that everything does happen for a reason. And the true trick to life, one of the secrets to happiness, is finding the positive in everything negative, because the old cliche says every single cloud has a silver lining. And my 21-hour incarceration in the Guantanamo Bay Toronto version, it made me appreciate freedom. It made me look into myself. I had 4-hour stretches where the only entertainment I had was my own brain. And it was like an encounter with myself. And I tried meditating. I tried to kind of think about things which, are issues in my life. And it truly was, if I really, really think about it, a positive experience. And it also showed me the tremendous support I have out there from everyone looking out for me. And Jade started the campaign on Facebook, and my girlfriend was getting involved from London as well. And so it also showed me the sad and depressing, pathetic nature of so many human beings who, for whatever reason, for whatever trauma they went through in their lives, now put on a uniform and think nothing about ignoring someone in a cage or teasing them in a cage. And during my incarceration, I did feel a lot of hate towards the people. I was like, how can they possibly do this and be there doing this to me? Because I'm a human being and they're treating me like an animal. But looking back, every single person has a sad story to tell, and no one turns into an evil person just by accident, I don't believe. There's always a trail you can follow back if you're a detective to find traumas in everyone's life which makes them the way they are.
Well, I can tell that your inner child hasn't been stomped on like many others, and I think that's really the critical ingredient.
No, absolutely. I think partly the reason why I'm maybe the way I am is that my parents liked to move around a lot when I was growing up. So we would live in like the Caribbean or Brazil or Scotland or Saudi Arabia or Qatar or West Africa. So I got to live in so many different cultures and different climates, and I attended so many different schools. I averaged about one new school every 3 years, my entire school life. And so maybe every time, just as the brainwashing was about to click in and I'd be locked in forever, I would be whisked out of it and taken to a different country and a different school.
Absolutely.
So,
my travels do that for me. And when I come into a new town, I'm completely free. I'm uninhibited because no one knows who I am. I can pretty much be whatever I want. And I think that schools do that to you as they knock you down. As soon as you make it up to the 6th grade, all of a sudden you're back at the bottom again. And once you make it through middle school, you're back at the bottom again. And each time getting knocked back down and bullied by those above you. And I think this very indoctrination right there is the critical factor that keeps us all down and keeps us subservient to the authoritarian figures. Charlie, we're going to pick this up on the other side with some more phone calls. We got them lining up there. People want to talk to you. This is Charlie Veitch from the Love Police, and you're listening to the Free Zone.
Didn't have to work too hard. First he crucified every dandelion out in the yard. But then he screamed at baby twice.
Love Police, going out, hugging people, spreading a good vibe, and the fact that humanity around you are actually angels there to help lift you into a new paradigm. Tell me about it, Charlie.
Well, strangely enough as well, as we are aware, your perception creates reality. And I was chatting to Jade about this 2 days ago as we're walking down the street. Many of us will notice synchronicities and be able to connect the dots in our own life, and you start thinking, did I make that happen? Did I create this reality? And I think most of us have a great difficulty in actually creating reality live, because it is a very difficult, jumpy process. And but I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that we are manifesting our perceptions out there in the 3D physical world and in the emotional world. And what you see coming back is the kind of reverberation. Who's that?
Yeah, who is that? Hello? You have a question? You're not really coming through. Go on, Cherry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've got to speak to my CIA handlers because we're getting a lot of strange distortions every time I go on a radio show.
I loved it when you were telling those cops that you were with the CIA and that you were actually an agent provocateur. That was classic. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was telling them I was a member of MI7, much more powerful than MI6, and we're British military intelligence there to make sure we wind the public up into an angry frenzy. And the poor guy, who's just a security guy just doing his job, he believed me, and then he wanted to radio that information in, and I had to say, whoa, you can't radio me in, you'll blow my cover.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you're taking this to this level. You know, we need more and more people like you out there making this fun.
Absolutely. As